Good morning, everyone. So, I live in a house with teenagers, and I know sometimes singing first thing in the morning, it's not their favorite thing to do. So, I'm going to give you the option. Of course, I want you to sing joyfully with me and Emily this morning. But you can also just participate by clapping. This first song has a little bit of a fun rhythm. So watch me for that. You got it. Okay. And we'll get the words up on the screen. All right. And we've done this before, but it might be new. It is kind of repetitive. So listen, clap, and sing when you are ready. Gonna keep on moving forward. Keep on moving forward. Keep on moving forward. Never turning back. Never turning back. Keep on moving proudly. Keep on moving proudly. Keep on moving proudly. Never turning back. Never turning back. Gonna keep on singing loudly. Keep on singing loudly. Keep on singing loudly. Never turning back. Never turning back. Gonna keep on loving boldly. Keep on loving boldly. Keep on loving boldly. Never turning back. Never turning back. Gonna keep on moving forward. Keep on moving forward. Keep on moving forward. Never turning back. Never turning back. We're going to sing again together. And before we do, I want to share a little bit of background about this piece with you, which was written by Sarah Lynch. So this is what the composer wrote about it. They said, "This is a song that I created back in March of 2016 when the HB2 bill was passed here in North Carolina." For those of you that don't know, that was the original bathroom bill that was targeting transgender folk. They continue, now in the early days of the Trump administration, this song feels deeply resonant. For me, this song is about seeing what's coming on the horizon, harder times that are inevitable and unavoidable, but the answer to the fear of what's coming is resiliency and claiming a strength within ourselves that has been there all along. There are more waters rising, this I know, this I know. There are more waters rising, this I know. There are more waters rising, they will find their way to me. There are more waters rising, this I know, this I know. There are more waters rising, this I know. There are more fires burning, this I know, this I know. There are more fires burning, this I know. There are more fires burning, they will find their way to me. There are more fires burning, this I know, this I know. There are more fires burning, this I know. There are more mountains falling, this I know, this I know. There are more know. I will walk through the fire when they find their way to me. I will walk through the fire, this I know, this I know. I will walk through the fire, this I know. I will rebuild the mountains, this I know, this I know. I will rebuild the mountains, this I know. I will rebuild the mountains when they find their way to me. I will rebuild the mountains, this I know, this I know. I will rebuild the mountains, this I know.
Good morning, everyone. It's so wonderful to see all of you this late winter morning. Still, newcomers, longtime members, and those watching online. My name is Preston Wilson, and I am honored to be your celebration associate this morning. May we gather together to nurture our connections, seek inspiration, and embrace change. Trust is our theme for March. Whom do you trust when life gets hard? What processes and institutions do you trust? And who can trust you? We have many activities this week. Please read the announcements in your order of service or check the sanctuary screens to learn more. If you are new or visiting for the first time, I invite you to fill out a yellow pew card and place it in the offertory plate. You can also drop it off at the welcome table in the parlor after the service, right through these doors. This is where we usually have coffee, snacks, and conversation after the service. I'll now invite Matt Hare up for a word about the stewardship.
Woo! Good morning. Okay, so this month is about trust. And I want to remind you that we're in the middle of our stewardship pledge campaign. And to just give you a little reminder, the way we're doing it this year is that some of you have been told in your letters that you got in the post that you will be getting a call from a steward. Many of those calls have happened. They're in progress. Many of the stewards have been having wonderful meetings. I know mine have been very moving and wonderful times to connect with folks that I maybe don't see here very often or don't even know. And so those meetings are going well. If you are going to be contacted by a steward or have been, you did not get a pledge card in your envelope through the mail, okay? The steward will bring that to you. If you got a pledge card in the mail, it means that we can't get to you this year in terms of a steward visit. We'll be doing this for a few years, so we certainly want to have that meeting with you, but couldn't make it happen this year. In which case, no need to wait. Send that pledge card in, and we would appreciate it. So far, we've got 60 households that have pledged over $110,000, so our hot air balloon is moving up towards the stars. Yes, and thank you to all of you for supporting FUSIT. These include 7 new pledges, 38 out of the 60, over 50%, have increased their pledge. Thank you so much. And I also want to say thank you to the stewards who are doing these visits to reach out. I want to thank Michelle Waffner, who's keeping everything organized with our campaign, and all of you for the ways that you support FUSIT.
Thank you, Matt. Before we light our chalice, let us all take a moment to greet those around us. Today's chalice will be lit by Dariana Perez. Please join me in saying the chalice lighting words. We light this chalice for the warmth of love, the light of truth, and the energy of action.
Welcome, friends. It's so lovely to be here with you this morning. This month we're exploring trust. And one part of that is how we trust one another with our authentic selves, and what that means and how it can show up in different ways. So to begin with, I have a story for you. Crow sat perched in a tree, surveying the world around them. A partridge crossed the path below. Crow watched for a while and thought, what a beautiful way of walking that partridge has. For a few moments they sat mesmerized. Is there a partridge around here? Is there a partridge? Is there a partridge around here? Is there a partridge around here? Friends, is there a partridge around here? Is there a partridge? I mean, is there a partridge? Is there a partridge? Is there a partridge? There's got to be one here somewhere. I know, right? I mean, is there a partridge? Are you a partridge? Are you a partridge? Okay, all right. I guess there is a partridge. All right. Partridge was walking back and forth, right? Okay, great. With these tiny, delicate little steps. Crow watched Partridge take these tiny, little, delicate steps. She moved her feet very quickly and delicately. So Crow flew down. Is there a crow here? There must be a crow. All right, come on. There's a crow. All right. When your own children are here and no one volunteers, you know what happens. Crow landed a little ways behind Partridge, and they began to follow along behind Partridge and tried for a long time to walk just like Partridge walked, but Crow's feet were much larger than Partridge's. And when they tried to take those quick, tiny steps, they tripped over their own toes. Finally, Partridge turned around and said, Crow, what are you doing? Crow said, don't be angry with me, but I've never seen a bird that walks as beautifully as you do, and I'm trying to walk like you. Now, first, Partridge puffed up with pride. Right? But then she looked at Crow and she said, wait a minute. I think you're being foolish. You are a crow and should walk like a crow. You look silly when you try to strut like me. Crow heard Partridge's words but paid no attention to them. They continued to try to walk like Partridge. They thought they would be a better bird if only they could move the way that Partridge moved. They went on trying to learn. They tried for so long that eventually they forgot how crows were meant to walk, and they never mastered Partridge's walk either. Partridge and Crow, you can pause for a second. Isn't that sad? Poor Crow never realized what a lovely bird they were. They never realized that they were the most beautiful when they were themselves. We are at our beautiful, we are ourselves. But for me, this traditional story misses the mark a little bit. What do you think was missing from it? Is anything missing for people from this story? Well, what if we made some adjustments to it? Can we try it again?
Yeah.
All right, let's start in the same way. Crow sat perched in a tree, surveying the world. You can perch over here, Crow. As Partridge crossed the path below, Crow watched for a while and thought, what a beautiful way of walking that Partridge has. Something in Crow's heart resonated with Partridge, and for a few moments they sat mesmerized. All right, Partridge, you're walking for us again. Great, with your tiny little steps. Crow noticed that Partridge took tiny little steps. She moved her feet quickly and delicately. Crow flew down. Crow landed a little ways behind Partridge, and they began to follow along behind, mimicking Partridge's steps exactly. Crow, this time, can you do your very best to mimic Partridge's steps exactly and not trip and fall over? Great. Finally, Partridge turned around and said, Crow, what are you doing? Crow said, "Don't be angry with me. When I saw you, I knew that I was like you, and that I wanted to walk with you, because you walk so beautifully." Partridge puffed up a little bit with pride, but then she looked at Crow and said, "Wait a minute, you don't look like a partridge to me. Why do you want to walk like one?" Crow replied, "Because this is who I am. I've always known deep in my heart, I just didn't have a word for it yet. I am a partridge." Crow replied and said, "Well, I think you're being foolish. You are a crow and should walk like a crow. You look silly when you try to strut like me." Now, Crow was hurt by those words, but continued to walk with those tiny, beautiful steps. Partridge stayed and watched Crow take those tiny, beautiful, delicate steps, even though their feet were much bigger than Partridge's own, and Partridge watched for a long time. Finally, she said, "I see that you know who you are. So who am I to tell you what you can and cannot be?" And at that moment, both birds marveled at the beauty that was one another. Thank you so much, Crow and Partridge. Now, both of these versions of this story offer us wisdom, right? They both remind us that we are at our most beautiful when we are true to ourselves. But the first version of this story left me wondering, who gets to decide what is true for each of us? Here, you are welcome to come as you are. And with that, I'm going to invite you to rise and sing with me once more, "Come, Come, Whoever You Are." Oh, and yes, and our friends have already been asked for baskets, and they're going to come along with the Side for Love baskets. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving, ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again, come. Come, come, whoever you are. Ready? Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving, ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again, come you are. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving, ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again, Thank you, friends. This is the time where I invite anyone who's young or feeling young at heart to come on forward and take a seat with Madeline and I for our time for wonder today. Come on up, friends. They got some heavy baskets today. Thank you for your generosity. Hi. Hi, hi. Hi, Luna. Hi, friends. All right, who hasn't had a chance to open our Wonder Box this year? Thora, can you open the Wonder Box for me? What'd you find in there?
A crayon.
It's a crayon. Do you notice anything odd about that crayon?
It's a blue crayon and a pink wrapper.
It's a blue crayon and a red wrapper. That's weird. All right. All right.
Oh, I have that book at home.
So today we're gonna read this book and tell a story, but we're gonna need your help to do it. All right? Okay.
Red,
Okay.
A Crayon Story by
All right.
Michael Hall.
Here we go. Hold on, hold on. Can I have some of you scoot back a little bit? All right. So before we start, yeah, you can all scoot back a little bit. Scoot back a little bit. The participation in this story is going to involve drawing. So if that doesn't feel comfortable for you, friends, you do not have to volunteer to do it. So, Thora, would you be our red crayon? Are you okay with drawing?
Yes.
Okay. You ready? I know, it's a marker because the crayons wouldn't let people see very well. We're just going to pretend. Suspension of disbelief. All right, go ahead.
He was red.
Can you draw what's the first picture there that the crayon draws? I think it's a fire truck. Can you draw a fire truck?
But he wasn't very good at it.
Did copy it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Go wild.
Go wild. You could draw your own version of a fire truck.
Can't tell.
It doesn't have to be perfectly exact. There we go. There's our fire truck.
This looks great.
Oh, you're right.
I love it.
You're fine. It's just sitting in here. All right. There we go.
Yeah. Yeah. His teacher thought he needed more practice. I'll draw a red strawberry, then you draw a red strawberry. You can do it.
All right. So now I need. Who would like to be a red? Allie, do you want to draw a strawberry? All right, we're going to draw some strawberries down here, right? So red's going to draw, and then our other red, is it Scarlet? What's that one's name?
Scarlet and red.
Scarlet is going to draw, and then our red's going to draw. Go ahead, make your strawberry friend.
Weird carrot.
All right.
But red couldn't really. Red said, like this? Scarlet said, oh my, let's try again. His mother thought he needed to mix with other colors. Olive said, why don't you two go out and draw a nice round orange? Yellow said, a really big one? Red said, a really orange one.
All right, you're going to make your orange right here, friends. A nice big orange. And don't worry, we can flip the page when we're out of paper here. We've got more. You start off that really big orange for us. It's going to be really big. Really big. All right, you can do it there. Perfect. You got to color it in. Color it in. So you can mix your colors.
But they made a big greenish one. Yellow said, yuck. Red said, oops. His grandparents thought he wasn't warm enough. Silver said, your class is making self-portraits for parents tonight. Wear this warm red scarf. Gray said, nice, it's so you.
All right, we're going to have some self-portraits.
But it so wasn't.
All right, so let's do some self-portraits. So this is you're drawing a color of a crayon of yourself. Here, Eli, you want one too? Yeah, you want one too? We can have a couple. We'll do like 4 self-portraits along with red self-portraits. So we've got, you want to do it too? Go ahead. Really quickly, draw yourself
I love that
as
you're
a
all
crayon
looking.
friend.
I don't really know how to draw this good.
Here, Rua, you can look over here too, or look at what your
And then
friends
just
are
make a long
doing.
rectangle. Perfect.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah. That's how I can do it.
That's right. You can color in this part.
Yeah. It's a green crayon. It's not a red crayon.
Perfect. Thank you. All right, let's step back so we can see our self-portraits here.
Mine is
We've
like
got
weird.
peach and green and orange and scarlet and red.
The grandparents, Gray and Silver, said, oh dear me. Everyone seemed to have something to say. Amber said, sometimes I wonder if he's really red at all. Hazelnut said, don't be silly, it says red on his label. Cocoa Bean said, he came that way from the factory. Fuchsia said, frankly, I don't think he's very bright. Grape said, well, I just think he's lazy. Army Green said, right, he's got to press harder. Steel Gray said, really apply yourself. Sunshine said, give him time, he'll catch on. Sea Green said, of course he will. But he didn't catch on.
All right. I have green for a green frog. Who would like to draw a green frog? We've got a black sheep. Who hasn't had a turn and would like to draw a black sheep? Can you draw a black sheep? Here you go. Do you need help? Your mama can come up and help you. We've got a brown cow. Who'd like to draw a brown cow? Brown cow. How now, brown cow? Do you want to try to draw a brown cow, Luna? Come on up. What else do we have?
We have
Oh, and our red is going to draw an ant.
Yes.
Do you need help, Luna?
You got this.
That's all right.
She'll
As soon as
wait.
Jester is done, we'll hop in here. Oh, I like your frog, Jester. It's really cute. Here, Luna, you can come right over here. You want to draw a brown cow? Right here. Are you ready? Are you tall enough? Okay, you got this.
You got
You
it.
want to see it?
You can do it.
You're going to make kind of a triangle shape right here. You got it? Yeah, you got it, Remy. Yeah. That is a very good ant. You ready? Do you want me to help you? Or we do it together? We're going to go whoop, like this. And then can we make the ears? They're going to go out kind of like whoop, like that. And one here. Where's the other one? Here? Okay. We're going to make another kind of triangle in the middle.
That is
With some
such a good
eyes.
shape.
And a little mouth. And so, can you draw the legs down? 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You got it. Ready? 1. Yes. 2. There you go. 3. And 4. Our cow looks a little grumpy. Good job, Luna.
Good job, Luna. You did great.
All right.
Look at this magnificent.
All right, excellent. Let's step back, friends, so
smiling,
people can
happy
see
sheep.
our green frog, our brown cow, our black sheep, and our red ant.
All the art supplies wanted to help. The masking tape thought he was broken inside.
Oh. Where did I lost my
This
tape?
will help hold you together.
Who wants to try to tape Red up? Do you want to try to tape Red up? You can try to tape Red up. Thank
The
you, friends.
scissors thought his label might be too tight. One snip should do it.
Do you want to give a tiny snip?
Why would they snip a marker? With a crayon.
There you go.
And even I thought he wasn't sharp enough.
How are we going to
Stay still now. But even with all our help and all Red's hard work,
You want to try drawing some more red while we tell the story? We've got hearts and cherries and whatever you want to draw there. Foxes.
I personally like the toes.
You like the toes? The toes are pretty funny.
Toes are fun. He just couldn't get the hang of it.
Is it a cherry sundae? What are you drawing? Hearts. Oh, it's a penguin. Oh, here we go. All right, one more, friends. I've got a yellow and a green and a red. We need a stoplight. You wanna do this one? Anyone else? Do you want to do the yellow? All right, let's make a quick stoplight. Here, I'll draw the. Ready? I'll draw the. There we go.
There, you want to do the next one?
That's right.
Gonna
Make
be
your
friends.
green
Here, go stand next to Mom.
and your yellow, which is still looking a little green from our orange earlier. Okay. There we go. Look at that stoplight. It's so beautiful.
the stoplights on blue?
I don't know.
Start spinning in circles.
All right, here we go.
One day, he met a new friend, Barry. Will you make a blue ocean for my boat?
You ready to draw the boat? Go ahead.
I can't. I'm red. Barry said, will you try? So Red did.
You got this. right, Red. Are you ready?
Oh no, it's levitating. Oh well. Oops. Barry said, "Thank you, it's perfect." And Red said, "You're welcome. That was kind of easy." And he didn't stop there. Blue bells, blue jeans, blue bird, blue berries, blue whale. I am blue, Red said. He was blue. And everyone was talking. Olive said, "My son is brilliant." Amber said, "Who could have known he was blue?" Hazelnut said, "I always said he was blue." Cocoa Bean said, "It was obvious." Barry said, "His blue ocean really lifted me." Sea Green said, "All of his work makes me happy." Brown said, "His blue strawberries are my favorite." Apple Green said, "He's so intense." Yellow said, "I'm going to make a green lizard with him, a really big one." Gray said, "I hear he's working on a huge new project." Scarlet said, "He's really reaching for the sky." And he really was.
He drew a blue sky. That's right. Hey, thanks everyone for helping. That was so fun. I know. You were all such good helpers. So in our story, Red had a label that didn't match their color or who they were. And this happens sometimes to people who are assigned a gender at birth that doesn't match their true identity. Does anyone know what that's called? Brua? Non-binary is a word that means kind of neither, right? What if someone like switches from one to the other, Eli?
Maybe like
Transgender, yeah. So we believe that every person is whole and holy, and we offer love to everyone, and we trust one another, that they know who they are, just like in our story about the crow and the partridge. So as we move about the world, remember that people trusting us with who they are is a gift. And that if we're living our lives with love at the center, that we're always honoring those gifts that they are offering to us. Friends, I'm going to invite you to return to your seats for right now. Thank you. I got it, yeah. You got it? Beautiful.
Good morning. In the spirit of reverence, love, and care, we take time now to bear witness to some of the joys and sorrows of our community, to share those events that call for our prayers and support, our praise and celebration. From Steve Doria. Today is the 1-year anniversary of my heart attack. I am grateful for all the love and support of family and friends that got me through that difficult time. From Nick and Gail, they sadly share that their beloved mixed terrier, Lexi, died last week. She gave and received much love and joy to us, our family, and friends. She'll live in our hearts always. From the Advocacy Center for February's Side with Love and Shared Plate. Thank you all for your support of the Advocacy Center, the families we serve, and the community. The clothes and monetary donations will make such a difference to so many. That note was signed by all the staff and volunteers. From Jack Zinda. Deep appreciations to all the people who are welcoming us as ushers and making today's after-service coffee happen. To all who have done so in the past months and years, and especially to all the many who might not have done so, but will soon take a little time to usher or bring a snack or help clean up so we can continue to have this marvelous occasion together each week. From Rachel Caddison. Rachel, her husband, mother-in-law, and brother and sister-in-law are traveling across the country to Oregon to visit with her husband's grandmother, who's receiving end-of-life care. They're away March 5th through the 21st. Rachel and her husband will celebrate their first wedding anniversary on a plane coming back to New York. Wishes for safe travels, comfort, and love for their grandmother and extended family, and the quick and seamless recovery of their beloved dog, Kiri, would be much appreciated. Kiri was recently at Cornell for surgery and will be in the care of Rachel's mom during their travels. Thank you so much for this loving and supportive community. And from Nancy Miller. Jens is home and recovering after a second stay at Upstate Medical Center. We are feeling so blessed by the love and care and connections with this beloved community. Thank you so much. For those we are holding in our thoughts, in our hearts, and perhaps in our prayers, into this community, into this space of healing and hope, let us call these names out loud or speak them in our hearts right now. We extend loving kindness to all in our world, and let us not forget to extend loving kindness to ourselves. Today, tomorrow, and beyond, let our hands be outstretched in kindness, and let us keep showing up to our lives and each other with an open heart, no matter what. Love and courage to us all. Blessed be.
I am learning to be brave. I am learning to speak my own language. I am learning what I want to become. I am learning what kind of life I want to live. I am learning to stand in my place without flinching. I am learning to go my own way. I am learning not to help people who don't want help. I am learning to embrace my powerful spirit. I am learning how to build my own bridges, complete with lions to guard against the foot traffic. I am learning I have value to bring to those waiting to hear my voice. I am learning the intensity of my own burning passions. I am learning to keep digging in the murkiness of my own brokenness. I am learning to accept my imperfections as beautiful. I am learning to trust others and myself. I am learning to think in terms of unlimited possibilities. I am learning I will not always be understood in the way that I intended. I am learning to apologize and then move freely forward. I am learning and learning and learning new things every minute, every day. I am learning to be a part of the healing of the world because I am willing to learn to be me. What are you learning?
Thank you. When we arrived in Ithaca and started coming to FUSIT, we had a 4-year-old, and I was pregnant enough with number 2 that people could safely ask when I was due without fear that I'd respond by saying I wasn't actually pregnant. To say we were welcomed is an understatement. Following a talk from Walt Peck, it was a summer service, that was just the right kind of thinky for us to keep us coming back for more, was a coffee hour with folks very excited to see a new family show up. In the almost 9 years since then, we've not just watched FUSIT grow and change, we've kind of jumped in and helped in a lot of ways. I've taught youth group 3 times now, and joined an interim minister search committee several years ago when somebody reached out to me, like the song just said. And weirdly, we've managed to dodge signing the book in all that time. But all that we've done and all that we've seen happen here wouldn't run without the pledges that we and others give to FUSIT to keep these things going. We've got an awesome staff that have helped transform FUSIT for families especially. I've watched the RE program grow from a few kids here and there and a youth group with a smattering of children to so many kids up in the youth room that we're not really sure where to put them anymore, and it's wonderful. I just want to say that our pledges are really crucial for growing this beloved community and having these opportunities grow, and so is our time.
Yeah, so we came here to Ithaca, and we're thinking we'd like to involve our kids in a bigger community than we'd been part of. But this was also for us. We wanted to have a chance to be together with people that we know for other reasons than that they're other kids' parents. We stayed for the free and responsible search for truth and meaning and the social justice work for which that responsible and free search for truth and meaning provides a rudder. But still, after 5 years, even though we had been so effusively welcomed, we were having conversations about how we didn't really feel part of the congregation. We didn't really feel included. And as Elisa just said, around that time, something changed. For me, it was in April 2020 when Reverend Margaret noted that I was learning a lot about Zoom by running classes at Cornell and invited me to help facilitate our services, and that led to a year splicing video, audio, and slides for the online services. Fred Balfour reached out to invite me to take part in coordinating coffee and snacks together with Andy and Cheryl. Kevin Moss and others reached out to ask me to help provide music occasionally. And all these things gave opportunities to get valuable things done and in the process get to know people. People went from faces politely acknowledged to fellow congregants that we care for and act together with common purpose. I feel deeply thankful for the people who are doing that work that makes our offertory words bring about connection meaningful. I've named some, but there are a lot of others that really deserve to be named too. And in these days, especially, but really whenever, right? More than anything, we need fellowship. We need to care for other people. And, know how other people care for us, to help one another, to get by, and to have that foundation for us to go and help everybody else who needs help. Giving our treasure and our time and our care, we're all making this stuff happen. Thanks.
Each week, we take an offertory to sustain the important ministries and programs of this congregation and its presence in Ithaca. Giving to the plate is important. It's a symbol of our gratitude for this service and our ongoing commitment to support the work of this church. For those watching remotely, follow the instructions on the screen. For those attending in person, our ushers will pass the plate.
support. If you know what we're singing, or you can follow along in our teal hymnal on page 1004.
Revisa tu corazón para hallar el amor en un rincón, pero busca el amor, mi placer, mi pasión, el amor. Lo que hace el otro bien, busca el amor en ti. Se multiplica si lo repartís, busca el amor en ti. Solo que ama puede ser feliz, busca el amor en ti. Se multiplica si lo repartís, busca el amor en ti. Solo que ama puede ser feliz, busca el amor en ti, Registra tu camaleón cuando cambia el color del corazón y te señala el dolor, un pétalo del sol del amor. Lo que hace otro bien, busca el amor en ti. Se multiplica si lo repartís, busca el amor en ti. Solo que ama puede ser feliz. Seek out the love in you and find the joy that comes to those who care. Seek out the love in you. It only grows whenever it is shared. Seek out the love in you, in you.
Please join me in saying the offertory words. May these gifts bring about connection, inspiration, and enjoyment within these walls and beyond.
I've been thinking a lot about action lately and about the Edward Everett Hale quote. He says, "I cannot do everything, but I can do something. And because I cannot do everything, I will not refuse to do the something that I can do." So today I'm offering us all an opportunity to do something. Something good in the world, something small but meaningful to honor Transgender Day of Remembrance, which is coming up at the end of this month. So we are going to make cards and write messages of support, belonging, and love on them. These messages will be discreetly mailed by point of pride alongside support packages to trans people with barriers in accessing healthcare. 88% of recipients are trans youth under the age of 24. Reminding someone that they are seen, supported, and valued is a powerful message to trans folk. So there are some guidelines I'm going to share with you verbally now, and that you will find up on the screens and also in some sign holders in the parlor, where most of us will hopefully come and gather in just a moment. Friends at home, I also invite you to make cards with whatever supplies you have and to either drop them off here by the end of this month, or you can send them yourself to Point of Pride. A link will be provided after the end of this service. So first off, I want to say you can make as many or as few cards as you'd like. In your messages, let recipients know that they are valid and valued. Speak from the heart. Share what you would tell a friend, or what you would want to hear if you yourself were going through a difficult time. Consider sharing positive messages about your own experiences, especially if you are in a space that you could never have imagined when you were younger. Each card can be unique, or you can write the same message on multiple cards if you'd like to make more than one. So keep in mind your messages should be encouraging and use positive language. You want to keep your message vague enough that the card won't out anyone as transgender if they have unsupportive family or roommates or friends. Please do not mention politics to keep the cards accessible to everyone. Please be careful not to infantilize the message or the card. Keep your message evergreen, avoiding references to specific time-sensitive events such as holidays, Pride Month, etc. And please do not include any information which would make you easily identifiable. You can add your first name and state or country if you'd like to give it a little bit of personalization. So you probably noticed when you came in that there were a ton of tables set up out there. So we have cards of various sizes and shapes, as well as markers and pens. We also will have a basket in here and a basket out there for you to put your finished cards into. I'm going to suggest that you share a table with some people that you don't know. I was just thinking about what Jack said, right? About how he started to feel welcomed when people were really reaching out, and sharing more of themselves and asking him to be involved. As you make your cards, ask each other about the pictures and words that you're writing. Share in this moment. This is a part of our worship today. We are sharing in faith in action. In fact, you might have noticed that it says processional on your order of service, and that wasn't a mistake, friends. We're going to process together into the parlor. We're going to sing There Are More Waters Rising one more time as we go, but we're going to be bringing our lit chalice with us, right? Because this is a part of our service. And we'll extinguish it together when it's time for everyone to move into coffee hour. There is beverage in here. Food will be in the garden entrance so that we can have as much space as possible. Our faith is centered in love, and today we are going to do the work of spreading love into this broken and beautiful world. All right, I'm going to invite you now to rise and lift your voices with mine as we move into the parlor, our true service now beginning. Yeah, Dariana, thank you so much. It's going to take our chalice for us. Madonna, will you get the doors? There are more waters rising, this I know, this I know. There are more waters rising, this I know. There are more waters rising, this I never to be. There are more waters rising, this I know, this I know. There are more waters rising, this I know. you go. All right, did you need markers and stuff over here? I was worried about this. We can pull more chairs out. Have you gotten cards over here? No.